Hi everyone, Craig here. Welcome to the first episode of this kind of impromptu video series I'm dubbing Behind the Degeneracy, where essentially I'm going to be running down the entirety of my brand new solo album, Music for Degenerates, just kind of giving some descriptions, playing some guitar, just kind of having a fun time with it, giving myself a reason to make some content. So, episode 1, track 1, I fucking hate you. Essentially, I wanted to have a really good excuse to write, like, a fun, kind of punky, kind of singy, kind of drill you in the head with a kind of funny chorus section. I fucking hate you. It's a fun song. It's meant to kind of be a joke and kind of be taken seriously, just like I guess anything that I like to do. The tune itself kicks off the album in a really cool way, where essentially you're hearing the band warm up, right? So you've got tracks of me plugging like my guitar in, some doodling. At some point, if you listen really close, you can hear the melody to Giant Steps, just because I'm a dork and that kind of shit makes me laugh. So and there's this kind of rotating Wurlitzer guitar thing that kind of keeps the flow going with the bass and stuff like that. And then just kind of in this random downbeat, you just get this monster riff, this right? And that's kind of where the song started for me. It was a random, hangout down here. I play a lot of guitar for fun, not necessarily ever really practicing, but just kind of having fun writing riffs or melodies or whatever. And that riff kind of just came out of the blue, and I was like, ooh, that's got an energy to it, that's got a fun to it, lets me do my dumb drop D thing, but then bringing in those fun octave chords, right? That's kind of a death metal-y thing. At least I got used to knowing it through death metal, and it's kind of fun to bring those kinds of worlds together, and then chorus kind of allowed me to kind of come up with this fun little stupid, I fucking hate you. It's just so goofy, but it's fun and meant to be enjoyed. So there's that. Then there's the verse, which is kind of has this like moving triad shape that I kind of just rock around with a bit. So it's right, and essentially that was actually born from the Smashing Pumpkins song Soma, where it starts with that triad shape. So I don't know what it is. Just listen for the notes. It was like right, but then he goes, and then right. So I heard that shape, and I think I probably just went, and I was like, oh, it's all art is just all ripping off art. But it's a fun one. I get to do some like fun little singing over that, and this kind of like, I don't want to call it neo soul because it's not neo soul. I'm not claiming I fucking hate you as a neo soul song, even though that's pretty great. But essentially, it lets me kind of sing over this fun thing, and the bass and drums are kind of grooving together in this really kind of way that was very inspired by Incubus. Definitely just getting the drums and bass to lock in, that kind of thing. And it's a fun time. And then I guess the only two other parts I haven't talked about in the song yet. So the bridge, this kind of fun little. right? I don't really know what that shape is either. I know it starts off like a power chord, and then you add the I think that's like the third, something like that, major third. Right, that sounds like a major chord to me. Now, or I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I don't know how that note really kind of deals with it, but it sounds good and it's fun. It lets that bridge part be what it is, and then the solo part happens. I'm gonna be real with you guys. That was a one-take anti-guitar solo. You know, I told myself I was gonna do this punky song or whatever, and I got this nice little open area for a guitar solo. I was not gonna take that shit seriously in the slightest. And pretty much what you heard on the album, you know, whatever the shit I'm doing, it's like, it's all improvised. I don't know what notes I'm playing. I didn't even really know what direction I wanted to go with it. I was kind of just like listening to the part as it was going, and it just worked out beautifully. I think there's a big univibe swelling over the top of that, and it just played perfectly into like the dynamic of how it shifts in the bit. Kind of cool. One of those things where it's just like, you know, sometimes you just get really lucky with something. And that was definitely one of those for me. Let's see, bridge solo. Oh yeah, and then outro, which is essentially just, again, that, you know, again. But then it ends on this final chord, and you start hearing all this like, right? But it sounds really cool because what I'm doing with that, and on the entirety of this album, it's the first time I've ever done this, is I quad-tracked all of my rhythm guitar parts, the dirty ones, right? So this is the last time I'll ever talk about this, and then you guys can be like, shut up, nerd, you know, talk about riffs. But essentially what I did is I took 4 total guitar performances of every rhythm guitar track, right? So I had 2 of, in the case of most of the rhythms on this album, a Mesa Boogie Mark V. I was really loving that amplifier at the time. It tracks perfect. I mean, I still love it. I'm just kind of on this Friedman kick right now that I've been really enjoying. But I mean, I'll go back to my Mark V anytime. But it was 2 tracks of that, both forward at 35-35. Or 45-45. I don't know if Brett, the guy that mixed this album, kept them there, but they were there. And then another set, also through the Mark V, but rather than like being a dirty channel, it was through the clean channel with my JHS Kilt fuzz pedal in front of it, like just pushing this massive low end and air. And so what you kind of got was this perfect blend of like the Mark V with all the attack and the clarity. You can hear the notes, whatever. And then you've got the other set, the fuzz pedal, which is broader, bigger, wider sounding. And when you got them dialed in nicely, it was like, wow, that's a big guitar sound. But at the end of that song, you can hear how they're all divided by the different whammy bars that are pulling off and whatnot. But yeah, just a kind of neat little thing. Any hoozles, that's it for episode 1 of the Behind the Degeneracy series. Hope you guys had a fun time. Hope to see you guys again for episode 2, where we're going to be talking about Long Way Back. Really, actually quite excited to talk about this one. Bye.